Welcome to another edition of the Real Energy Podcast. Today we have a special guest with us, Michelle Goodwin, Joy of Coconut. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you, thank you.
So tell us about yourself and why you're here with us.
Well, let's see. A lot of us go way back in the day from Falls Church. You can take the girl out of Falls Church. You can't take Falls Church out of the girl.
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Right?
Falls Church High.
22042.
Old school. But I'm a mindset coach, and I do a lot of motivational speaking. I'm an author. I work with clients to help them transform their lives. Joy in the Coconut is all about joy. We kind of go through life on autopilot, and people forget that, we're supposed to enjoy this thing. I'm just here to kind of share my story and hopefully help a few of your listeners out with some tips.
So, one of the reasons why, and we were talking, and I'm glad that you're on the episode today because man, we've been going through a lot of heavy subjects lately.
Yeah, right.
A lot of heavy subjects. Last episode, we had a sergeant from the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department.
Yeah.
We were talking about a lot of police, and we've had a gentleman on here who was talking about adultery and, the ethically non-monogamous. And then we were talking about jail culture. So I thought, hey, let's make this thing light. Okay. Let's get a little, hug therapy going on here. So, Michelle, tell us.
I love it.
What is a mindset coach?
Yes. Okay. So the best way that there's a couple ways I can describe it. First of all, the biggest thing standing in between where you are today and where you want to be is your thinking. It's all about your thoughts. Your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts create your perception, which creates your perception of the world. And so with mindset coaching, we go in and we help you rewire your thoughts. You have up to 60,000 thoughts a day.
Wow.
75% of those are unconscious. Most of them are negative, and they are on repeat. Okay.
Does that go for the guys too? Because sometimes when people ask us, "What do you think?" and I'm like, "Nothing."
You have you don't even know.
Blank slate.
It's scary.
We're on a blank slate.
Right. No, and you don't even realize it's happening. So that's a lot of what we work on is like, what are you telling yourself all day? Well, you'd be surprised. I'm not worthy. I'm not smart. I'm not capable. I'm fat. I'm ugly. And it just goes on and on and on. Mm-hmm. And regardless of what is going on in your life, if you're thinking a certain thing, you're going to think it into existence. So, for example, I wake up tomorrow morning and life is so hard. It sucks. This is going to be a shitty day. Guess what's going to happen?
It's going to be a shitty day.
You're going to have a shitty day. You wake up in the morning and the first thing you say, and this is what I teach all my clients, you wake up and you say, I'm alive. Yeah. I made it. I made it through the night. This is going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day because I'm still here. My kids still have a parent. My mom still has her daughter, blah, 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 blah. You wake up grateful. So it just sets the tone. And with mindset, it's work, but with the right tools, you can really reset how you're feeling.
So we had Mike, shout out to Mike. What was his last? Mike Pierce. We had Mike Pierce from Energy of Being and Hypnotic Therapy in Warrenton, Virginia.
You're going to start digging right now, aren't you?
I know. We're not. No, I'm not there. The wheels haven't started turning. I need more context for the wheels to start turning. But I was curious because when Mike was on, Mike had this thing about, when he said, mindset coach, he had like this negative.
Well, he said he doesn't like to be called he's an energy coach, not a life coach.
Yeah. So he had a difference. So, we had that episode. I'm not sure if you saw that, but what is the difference between something, like an energy coach or a hypnotist or something?
Reiki.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
one
yeah.
too, right?
Okay,
sure.
There's something that like. I'm all about. I understand, vibrational energies and frequencies we're all living on. But I'm lost. I kind of listened to that.
What was the Reiki? Was the
that's
when he was going into
energy transfer.
Energy manipulation.
It's not massage because the hands.
Let me tell you, shit
touch.
works. My mom's a Reiki master, and I'll be like, Mom, I need a Reiki, and it's like lightning bolts through your body. So, you know, I could go down so many rabbit holes because I'm the biggest nerd. And like when I get interested in a subject, I know everything about it. And, you know, if you put your hand under a super microscope, you don't see a hand. Right. We're just energy. We're all just energy. And all of us right here in this room on the Real Energy Podcast, we are all in each other's energy. And, but to answer your question, I'm actually an intuitive mindset coach. So it's even more of a thing.
Yeah, please explain. Please explain.
Let me tell you,
for him.
The intuitive part is this. I have an innate ability to talk to people in a way that affects them to the core. Everybody's different. Some people need a hard hand. Some people need a soft hand. Some people don't know what the hell is going on in their head. And I have, a skill and a talent to be able to connect with people in a different way. And so when you were saying that about Mike, when we talked about it earlier, I was kind of like, why is he, down on mindset coach or life coach or whatever? But you know what I think it probably is, that there is so many people. There are so many people out there claiming to be coaches right now. It is oversaturated. You got 18-year-olds that are out there life coaching. You got people.
We call those influencers.
Yeah, and it's terrifying because you have someone's mind in your hands. It is a huge responsibility. And so you got people out there, just winging it and fucking people's lives up. So that is a big thing that's going on right now, and I probably think that might have something to do with it. But hypnotherapy is great. I actually have a partner that I work with for hypnotherapy when my clients need it that I refer to. So it's a useful tool in mindset. I'm going to beat this drum all day. Mindset is everything. Yeah. It's your diet. It's your relationships. It's your career. It is what you live and breathe every day is your mindset.
So, Tanya, you went and, saw Mike. What did you get out of that? She had a session with Mike from Healing.
Well, I mean, it was good. It was various. It wasn't one-sided, or one-dimensional. We sat for a while, and I don't know how long, because I was there from like 10 o'clock in the morning to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Right, so I was there all day. Mm-hmm. But we talked, and he got to know me as a person, like just like basic things like, who do you live with, how many kids do you have, blah blah, those type of things, to get kind of like a basic background, nothing deep, but just to get a little context of who I am, I guess. And I have family from that area, so we had a lot of things in common outside of that. So we just kind of
vibed out.
Yeah, basically. And then he did this thing, and I don't know what it's called. But
did you say past life regression?
That was at the end.
Oh, that was at the end. Okay.
Yeah, but we also did the chakras. Okay. And got him aligned and all that.
So he's he's an energy coach.
Literally energy coach. Yeah, and you can and the thing that he did, and I wish I don't know what the name of it was called. But you could, you can see it. You can see it on the screen. You can see where you're what's misaligned and all that good stuff. And it also had a thing on there that showed where your energy is being used at the most. And one place for me was my thyroid, and I don't have a thyroid because I had surgery last year. So
you're like, damn,
that makes sense. That a lot of my bodily energy is going to an area that's missing something, because it's missing something. You need more energy there.
So what did you get? How has your life changed from that session?
There are a lot of things I see that I didn't see before that I can see now. In terms of my relationships with some people, not everybody, but my relationships with people, I see things clearly.
Right. You can see toxicity in places where you might not have seen it before.
Yeah, and I can. I mean, I'm kind of like you. I'm very intuitive, and I'm an empath, so I can feel energy everywhere I go. Right. So because of that, it makes it. I have to. I'm trying to be more selective on where I am at.
Yes, girl.
Or where I'm going, because I don't want to be around anybody that's going to decrease my energy.
Yep.
So I guess where I'm curious, right? Because man, we're all screwed up in the head out here, man. We're just walking around.
Absolutely everybody.
We're walking around. Everybody's walking around with issues, and when and Haran and I, we were talking about somebody that we know, and he's having we're not gonna out anybody, but we were talking about it's somebody that we went to high school with, and they're having some real life issues right now, and Haran and I were texting back and forth, and we're like, hey, it all stems from here, it's all a mental thing. Something's going on in the head, something triggered them. So what I'm trying to figure out, and why that Mike's episode and your episode today with us is going to be so interesting, is when someone comes to a place in their life where they're like, man, shit's not right, something's off. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you when someone comes to you, well, first of all, let's start. Yeah, let's start here. How did you get into this? Like, how does someone? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ask
I was just curious. Yeah, like how, what training did you do, and what made you even want to do it?
So I think I told you guys earlier, I'm the oldest of 14 kids, and
mom and dad are getting busy.
Yeah. So I was born the mom, the mediator, the fixer of all things, the boo-boo kisser. And everybody used to joke that I needed to put a sign over my bedroom door that said not accepting new patients. So this has just been something that I have done in life, and never really recognized that it could be a career. So fast forward through my own shit, like I have been through lifetimes, right?
Please tell.
Oh, that's a
real feels episode.
We need like a whole other episode for all that.
I'm gonna get in your ass a little later.
Yeah, see, I'm about to say that.
I know a few things.
Don't get in your ass.
So I know a few things.
So I think one of the hardest thing for somebody to do is change their mindset, right?
On Facebook posts.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let her answer the question first.
Yeah,
Okay.
For somebody to really change their mindset, that's got to be the hardest thing to do, I think, right? Because you're set, and people are set in their ways.
You have to recognize
Here's
it
the
first.
key. Yes.
Right.
What is the most important thing is exactly what you said. You have to go, oh shit, my life sucks. Like,
right.
That's the first thing, because people just, they're like, well, this is it,
Well, there's people out there that are saying my life sucks, but they don't do anything about it.
Right.
So how do you change?
We have not.
You will never change until you get tired of your own shit. And when someone comes into my office, that is the first thing we work on, is self-awareness. Everybody thinks something else is the problem. The problem is you.
Oh yeah.
And people don't like to hear that, but that's the truth.
100.
And the sooner you
100%.
can come around that, the sooner that you're going to change your life.
It's like when you realize that even though that person is a big consternation in your life, then you realize that they're in your life because of you.
Right.
You don't have to have them around. So
she went through her own shit, and then
went through my own shit, and started doing, self-development. I have read so many books, books and podcasts and all that stuff, and decided to start blogging. So I started a blog, and then COVID hit, and at the time I lived out in Western Loudoun, and that whole place is just nothing but small businesses. And being an empath and a bleeding heart, I started a Facebook group, small businesses, helping small businesses, so we could all come together and basically shop each other. And I kind of fell into it. A lot of my friends are small business owners, and that's who I really started working with, is kind of helping keep them going, to keep their light on, like literally and metaphorically. Then I talked to an old boss of mine who was working with this woman named Marianne Williamson, who is
Oh yeah, I know Marianne.
Yeah,
I know her. Yeah.
She's a 4-time #1 New York Times bestselling author, which is my dream someday. And I studied underneath her and got my coaching certification, which was an honor because she's freaking incredible.
Yes, definitely.
A spiritual leader and all the things. So, and what's interesting is everything's been through referral. And I work with probably 70% males, which surprised me.
And no, you know why it's not surprising?
Why?
Because men don't have a lot of outlets. I mean, Stephanie and I we had this conversation the other day because she was like, "What's wrong?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Nothing." And when we have we have 3 men here, and I'm gonna ask you, and I'm gonna ask you this,
Jesus.
okay? So when you're going through stuff, right? Are you truly honest with your spouse about what you're going through?
For the most part, yeah, but it may not be right away, or it may not be at the right time.
I mean, I'm talking about the emotional part of it.
Oh no, I mean that's just dudes.
When you're going through an emotional event in your life, are you truly upfront with your mate?
I think so. Yeah, I think. It depends on what it is.
It feels like he is.
I think so.
The reason why, and that,
Are you?
When I was no, I'm not.
Okay.
The reason why, and I was trying to explain this to Stephanie about it, is that when a man expresses, especially when you're trying to express yourself to your mate, the issue with that is your mate puts themselves in that scenario. And it becomes an issue of, well, what am I not doing to make you feel secure?
Okay.
So now the issue now turns from what am I feeling
to
what are we feeling,
Right.
and then
Yeah,
I need an example too.
So this is what I'm hearing, because I'll tell you, like with my clients, they would love to express how they feel in certain situations, but you have to navigate how saying that is going to make the other person feel.
Yes.
And what reaction that they will have.
I was just about to say that. Like, I think a lot of men, I know for myself, we've been together 20 years or whatever it is, 21 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
A lot of times I don't say what I want to say because I know with her how she's going to react to things.
The reaction.
If I'm like sharing a vulnerable feeling or vulnerable part of myself, and I get or any kind of like what I perceive as a negative reaction,
shut down.
Now we're either I'm either going to be in a pissed off, get away free mood, or it's going to bring me down further, and generally I'm not going to. Okay.
Phone and coaching is you just have to do it.
Huh.
You have to do it.
I need some more clarity here.
Yeah, I need an example.
Yeah, because I'm not sure I understand.
A lot of times,
I'll give you an example real quick. So, one of my clients has young kids at home, right? And his wife's a stay-at-home mom, right? Which is like the hardest thing to do. Been there, done that. It sucks. And he'll complain about the house not being as clean as he wants, and shit like that. And it bothers him, right? And so I'm like, if it bothers you enough, then why don't you clean a room, right? And they have a lot of different viewpoints on how to raise their kids, and there's a lot of things going on, and he's dodging it. And I keep telling him that if you do not communicate your feelings with your partner, you're going to develop resentment, and 10 years down the road, you're going to hate your wife, and you're going to hate each other, and you're going to get divorced. So you have to have uncomfortable situations, and the way that I have people do it is Sunday family meetings. And if you start it in the beginning, you can bring your kids in too. And what we do is, this is our safe spot. We all sit here and we talk about what went right with the week, what went wrong with the week. We put a timer on for 20, 30 minutes, and then we leave it at the table. And you absolutely have to, non-negotiable, do that without carrying on the resentment. And if your spouse carries on the resentment, that's on them. You can get back into your own mindset and not let them affect your energy bubble, and just say, listen, I'm sorry, like you've got to be in your feelings, but I'm holding up my part of the deal. So that's kind of how we work through those types of
it's
things.
not surprising to me that
That's
a lot of your clients are men. It's just not, because it's we were talking about safe spaces a couple of episodes ago, right? We're talking about having safe spaces to be able to express yourself and be able to show and express what you feel, right? And a lot of men just don't, have it. And I know this because usually what men do is they find comfort in, you know, speaking to other men.
We always tease or that general thing about, you girls are gossiping and, you know, you're being girl out. Trust me, me and this dude.
Oh, I know.
Me and this dude right here, we have these hours and hours and long get it out sessions, and we don't even know. We didn't know what we're doing. We're actually giving each other therapy.
I knew y'all were girls. I knew
Oh
it.
my God, yeah. The phone. Oh, Keith is on the phone.
Okay.
Got my AirPods.
It's gonna be a while.
Do you get any pushback sometimes, you know, from some of your male clients because they're too into it themselves?
I in the beginning I will, especially with like type A personality people, but you know, I have a lot lot of masculine energy.
Oh,
My girl.
Yo, we just had an episode about masculine energy.
It's hard, and I'm trying to balance that out with, you know, because it's important. But being in that masculine energy with a type A personality male puts them in their place and makes them realize, like, dude, you're paying me to help you, right?